So what you're asking for, we would have to look at an administration charge, but what we're trying to encourage is people do use and enter into the qualifications framework to look at how they can update and use it as CPD. So and hopefully, you know, when we've got a commitment for people to do that, then we can review it and keep on adding subjects to that. Certainly, we're looking in the future at bringing in leadership modules, etc. So, you know, that's what we're looking to do. And we've been working on a project with LBR and CIH to develop those, and they're also going to be linked to the competency framework. So we are looking at developing that. The qualifications framework to be all encompassing.
Yeah, I think it's a valid challenge, and I think something we'll take back and work out the benefits of registering into a TSQF framework when you're fully qualified, whatever that may mean. So it's something we'll take back, and we have talked about whether we create a special category, you know, for those people who are past the qualification framework, and we'll keep it as, you know, as cost effective as possible. This is not a money making scheme for us. This is purely about professional standards and professional longevity, but we'll take that back and we'll think about that. I think to think about this is about the future, and we know, and I think we have to hold our hands up that this definition should have come out years ago. You know, we have to accept that. But what do? Do we just continue and not improve and realise that people were caught up in the transition process, or do we move on and accept the sort of previous mistakes almost and say let's get it right now? And that's where we're at. So it would have been your local authority that told you to have got 80 points, presumably, rather than TSI.
Based on what they thought was the equivalent of the DTS.
Yeah, okay.
So in their eyes, they thought, we'll do every single module then, apart from the HDCAS, because it's a management level. But now it's been changed where actually, no, you only need to do half of those modules and the HDCAS.
But what authorities themselves recognise for the purpose of the job is different from this. They may use this or not. That's entirely up to them. This is the benchmark within the profession that we're saying there's a level, that's our basis for charter status application, all that stuff. And it's a benefit to the profession to get it to individuals and to authorities who can use it or not. So we're not cutting across what authorities have decided for their own job description analysis, pay grading. So we're simply providing.
They had to decide it because they didn't get any guidance from TSI. But now that it is coming out, I think they will use it. So all those people that have only achieved so many 60 modules, for instance, 60 points, they are going to be having to look at this new definition out and make sure they incorporate the higher modules. You know, if they're applying for jobs in other authorities, because I think once definition, you know, is agreed, then councils will look to recruiting people who meet that definition.
Well, we did want to make this so stringent that you have to get every single module to become a training standard practitioner. We'd hardly have anybody out there, and I think you're in a unique position. And in a very advantageous position, and you're quite a marketable place to be.
There are more of us than you realise.
Yeah.
There are quite a few authorities that followed Oxfordshire's lead and stipulated that we had to do every module. And
there are still some authorities out there who are putting their opinion is that officers should be qualified in absolutely everything. But we prefer to, the majority view out there is that local government should decide what priorities are for that council. So food might not be an issue for some councils. And animal health may be a major issue for some and not others. So we have to respect that local government is sovereign here and a sort of compromise between the two different views. But you know, we are where we are, and we think this is a sensible place to pitch it. At last we've got a definition, so that everyone is unanimous in welcoming that.
If the government bodies and departments feel it fit that that's what they're looking for to put in legislation, and then that, you know, we will encourage that. And that to me only helps sort of like councils realise that they need those officers to deliver that service. I think I know we're in budget cuts at the moment, etc. It's difficult times, but you know, if you as a council, like our fellow environmental health officers, are able to point to legislation to show, you know, that they need more funding, etc. I can only see that helping.
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do we get more of people in our profession, in our institute? And if I knew the answer to that, I'd be a very rich man. But I think to take in context what we're trying to deliver here, we're trying to get the term trading standards practitioner recognised across a series of bodies, government, Europe, and across councils as well. If we do that, then there is a mandatory requirement to have this person in place in local councils enforcing certain parts of the law. And there's also the flip side of that about personal pride and personal professionalism. And it's, again, people's choice whether they want to be part of that or not. And it's also employers' choice. If they want to employ somebody solely for underage sales work, then they can do that under the direction of a trading standards practitioner, perhaps. So for us, we see that it's strengthening the member professional in certain workplaces rather than anything else, and that for us is a good thing. But we realise we're not going to get 100% membership because of this.
The other thing, there's lots of persons out there who have got TS qualifications before and are not able to call themselves. So Andy and myself at the moment, we're trading standards officers, but we can only be trading standards officers within an authority. Now, you know, we would like to be able to have a professional status. So we can call ourselves practitioners as other professional bodies as well, because we would be able to achieve the criteria and continue on with our CPD. I'm sure there's others as well that would join us on that.
I mean, you're an employer in this situation, Peter. I mean, how would you see something like this?
Well, my authority pays membership of TSI, and I think that and I've kind of carried on with that as a president. But maybe it might be called into question soon. I don't know, but because I see real benefits from the qualification. I mean, I'm just passionate about the use of training to deliver quality services. I keep saying this at meetings. Our service is what you say and do. That's all it is. So you need to know what to do and what to say and be able to get the capability. It's about people delivering the service. It's not equipment-based, it's people-based. So the training, the up-to-date, the qualification process, giving me an assurance that people are out there do know what they're doing is really important. And I think the benefits of the professional use of the institute, the profession, really important. We need to look carefully at the membership benefit package, if you like, and make sure this is integrated with it and providing as much as possible. And it is a challenge, and it's going to be an increasing challenge in the current funding situation, but it's something we've got to tackle. We don't have the immediate answer. I'm hoping this is part of it, and if we can get the trading standards practitioner recognised in law, that's clearly an incentive in the terms of the way the DTS was used with weights and measures. So we need to explore that avenue across all the government departments and all those central government stakeholders, so we're holding talks with them on what they want to see.
I'm a member of TSI, become a practitioner, move authority, so I've got the title, then stop, and then when I go to move to another authority, sort of, you know, join again, is there going to be a cut-off point, or can I just keep joining and stop it because I can't afford to pay the membership all the time?
That's a good question. One of my colleagues will answer that for you. I mean, is there plans for a practitioner certificate or something like that? We've got to go down
I'd like to go down that line, yes.
I mean, that will allow transferring, won't it? And it'll be able to put a timeline.
Yeah.
I think the issue with today was not giving you all the answers. We're trying to find out some of the problems as well.
Yeah, I think I mean that's a really important point in that we're trying to gauge where you are with this process, how far on board you are with this, and what tweaks, what are the major barriers before we can make progress. And it sounds to me we've moved on quite a long way. We've sort of come to the end of time now. It'd be interesting to get a quick show of hands from you, just if we sort out the detail around cost and we sort out the detail of benefits for registering, how many people in this room are quite happy with the direction we're trying to push this in? I mean, I am. Okay. What's really important now is that those that aren't happy with that process, you have a dialogue with us, more importantly, your branch representative, because they're going to be the ones who are going to be discussing this on your behalf at either October or the March meeting. And we need to know what those are as well, so that we can do something about it. We think we've made a lot of progress here, but if there's something that we're not aware of that that we need to know about, then we need to be talking about it now.
engaging with non-members in this process is going to be key as well.
That's
And we
gonna
have to
be
find the
big problem.
mechanisms to do that.
Yeah.
And we're going to rely on members in the authorities to help us do that.
But they're not
It'd be a
doing
bit
it.
unfortunate if they just said, oh, well, you can't tell it.
Yeah, this is our professional organisation, and you're not members.
Well,
so
then
we're
that's the
ignoring it.
benefit of being part of the organisation, is that you do get a chance to shape and to benefit, don't you? If you're not
Yeah.
a member, you can't.
Yeah, at this stage, it's how we get them to
'Cause
encourage them
it's
to,
a
yeah.
membership organisation,
Yeah.
it's funded by people who put a subscription.
But what
to
we
it.
are going to rely on is
It's-
members to encourage others when we've got
Yes.
this thing finished to join.
It's different when you've got non-members who nevertheless partake in the examinations who are directly affected.
And that's why we use forums like Trading Standards Policy Forum, which is a mixture of employers and members and non-members, so we can make sure we've got a general consensus on these things, not just about membership consensus. But it is difficult. We don't have any mechanism for dealing with non-members currently. But is the forum open to all, or is that just members? No, the forum's open to all. So all the information is on. Is that right, Jackie? Yeah. Okay. So the pointing towards the website is the best bet, and we're happy to have a conversation with anybody, member or non-member.